Everything that I'm saying, I believe 100% to the best of my ability, and I'm going to continue to spread this word out there. And if you, listen, you can challenge me if you want to, bring it. You don't know who I am. I'm going to continue to put this message out there. The same message my father gave me, it's the same message I'm going to give these young ladies, and you can try to stop me. And ladies, look in the comments at the men who have a problem with what I'm saying. Look at the way they put their sentences together. And then you'll know and understand why it is that I'm telling you to stay away from them. Okay? Because they can bring it to me, but I know how to chop them down. Sons, bring.
Okay everyone, you heard it. She wants us to bring it, and to come at her, and she's ready for it, etc. I do not want to hear any nonsense about bullying for making this video. First let me tell you a little about Danya. I have watched about 3 hours of her videos, and the best way to describe this woman is, reasonably intelligent, and a traditionalist, or perhaps the word is gender traditionalist, and all a rather interesting and bizarre woman with a huge following.
Hello my little lovebirds, Tanya TKO here, and today is Wednesday. Friday, getting down on Friday. And our second week of Man Week. Today we were supposed to be talking about does size matter, and we were supposed to do the live show, but I forgot about an appointment that I have in the evening. So we're going to have to save the does size matter for next week, where I'm going to be talking directly to the women. But for Man Week, we've spoken about several different categories or several different topics. Is a man without money worthless? What are the one thing that all men are good for?
Oh, I got this one. Taking out the trash.
Survey said, bam, on the money.
And then also, I talk with you ladies about some different ways that you can stroke a man's ego in the video. Stroke it, don't choke it. Well, today, our video is entitled, Broke Boys Gets No Booty. And I'm going to be talking directly to the men in the beginning of the front of the video. And towards the latter part, I'm going to pick it up and talk to the women. So men, if you are faint at heart, you might not want to tune in for the last part, because I'm going to be talking to a woman from a woman's point of view. And then before I get to that section, I'll give you guys another warning so that you know when to make your exit.
Well, see, I did a bad thing and didn't exit when I was warned. But before she gets into the topic, she has to get her lip gloss poppin'.
Hold on, let me get my lip gloss poppin'. Hold on, let me get my lip gloss poppin'.
Well, this might take a while. In the meantime, I want to show you guys what happened on my date with Inuit Inua, which was the girl I met at the end of my Dating a Feminist Part 2 video. I don't have all of the footage, but I'll summarize the early part. I met her at the diner, and we were talking. I must say she is just the sweetest thing. Adorable. 110% adorable she is. But I keep getting this feeling like she plays for the other team, if you know what I mean. I decided to test this theory out. I got clever. As we were eating our hot dogs, I decided to distract her by telling her I thought I seen Ellen DeGeneres over there, and when she turned her head, I slipped my penis inside of a hot dog bun, then covered it with condiments to help disguise it. My plan was for her to open her mouth and let my cock enter. If she was straight, she'd start sucking, or at least smile. If she was lesbo, then she'd spit it out. Anyhow, when she turned around, she seen the hot dog. She opened her mouth and, well, I forgot that a hot dog isn't something you suck on, it's something you bite on. She completely severed my dick. She was very apologetic, as she drove me to the hospital, and here is the result of the drive. Do you think you could drive any faster?
Well, I don't want to go faster than the speed limit.
Well, I don't want to bleed to death.
Don't yell at me, it makes me all nervous and stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this is a Bugatti Veyron. It can break the 250 miles per hour mark.
Oh really?
Yes really, and you're doing 60 miles per hour. You know this thing has nitrous oxide afterburners. You should do us a favor and turn them on.
Where is the switch?
It's right there. No, that's the radio.
Hey, I like this song.
Yeah, I like Biggie too. Back in those days rap had some attitude. Nowadays it's all about tracks and bands and other metaphors I just ain't good enough to understand. But here's an idea. Why don't you switch it over to a rock station? Maybe a little speed metal would inspire you to speed up this damn car.
You need to quit being a backseat driver.
And you need to stop letting foreign eco-friendly piece of shit hybrid cars to pass us. This thing has 1020 horsepower. Try using some of it.
Look, there is a paint station. I want to get the car painted.
What? Are you insane? I am bleeding to death. I am holding my severed cock in my hand and you want to get the car painted.
If you let me paint the car, I promise to speed up.
Oh fine, get it painted then. What, wait, white? You can't be serious. White is no color for a baguette.
Do you want me to paint it again?
Yes, anything other than white for God's sakes. Oh great, scratch the paint right after you got it painted.
Stop yelling at me.
I was having a great time, well until I pulled that prank that got my dick bit off.
Sorry about that. I normally don't bite down on a hot dog that hard, but I was really hungry.
So about that whole driving faster, think you could give that a go, and change the damn station to something up-tempo? I suspect you need all the motivation you can get. That's more like it, baby can drive.
Oh no, it's the cops. What should I do?
Keep driving. Go faster.
Why not pull over?
When the officer asks me what's the emergency, I honestly don't want to have to explain this.
Can you provide suspect details? Over.
Anyhow, I never did find out which team she plays for. Let's see if Tonya's lip gloss is poppin' yet.
But time made you bolder. Children get older. And I'm getting older too.
Broke boys get no booty. You know what I'm talking about, booty. Listen up. First of all, being broke is childish. Men, you know that you are natural leaders and that you were put here to be hunters and conquerors and people who are made to be looked up to.
Is being a broke woman childish, or do they get the vagina pass on that? Or are we going with the idea that a man's money is a woman's money, because property cannot own property? The chicken's egg does not belong to the chicken, but to the farmer who owns the chicken. Tonya, males were once leaders, but feminism put an end to that. Males are raised by their single-parent mothers, educated primarily by female teachers. He grows up to be a submissive yes-man to his wife who holds all the power of divorce, and he will often work at a job where somewhere within the chain of command he is taking orders from a woman. Try finding a job where not even one woman outranks you. Men are no longer leaders, they are equals, and we can debate whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but the point remains. Males are no longer the community leaders, and expecting males to live up to that role is unfair. Males have it hard enough when our feminist society tells us to stop being male and masculine, while traditionalist women such as yourself cracks the whip and tells us we had better fulfill our male role.
At the bottom, so that if you are in the two tiers where you have mental power and economic power, then you stand a better chance than someone who is just on the bottom rung. Those people have not fully evolved into present day times. So until you can make your own choices and control the outcome of your life, you are still a boy. As long as somebody else is making your decisions, paying for your food, your clothing, your shelter, you, my dear, are not a man.
I could easily say the same thing, only claiming if a woman does not have these things and cannot make her own decisions, she isn't a woman, but a child. Also, I really dislike a woman dictating to men what it is to be a man, especially since different women have different ideas of exactly what a man is and is supposed to be, and no man can live up to all the conflicting rules of being a man that women have laid down for us. And men are evil sexist pigs and patriarchy when men attempt to turn around and tell women what makes a real woman, or more accurately, a proper lady, and basically every other argument I have is just a rehash of the last one. So moving on to the portion of this video that is not a repeat.
Right now, if you are broke, you should not be thinking about having sex. You need to harvest that sexual energy and you need to hone it and bring it together and use that energy to create success for yourself. You need to be able to, first of all, let me explain to you, there is, and you just look up the word tantric sex. There are different types of, there's a form of sex that you can have where you still feel the beautiful, wonderful power of a climax, right? But without squandering your energy, because when a man has, and it takes a long time to, and you have to be on a certain spiritual level to be able to get up to tantric sex, to be able to climax without ejaculating as a man. So for most people, because if you're on that spiritual level where you are able to do that anyway, then this video is probably not applicable to you anyway, because I can imagine that there are other things in your life that are in order. But back to the video. For the average man, for today's man, you need to take that energy. When you climax, you lose a part of your life force. You lose a part of.
Use the force, Luke.
Spiritual tantric sex, harvesting sexual energy for success. Orgasm is a loss of life force. How the fuck do I even argue that? Maybe I should meditate and stick acupuncture needles in my rectum to balance out all these cosmic spiritual forces and get rich quick. Interesting idea for a book though. Might write and publish that book and sell it next to the lottery machines.
You know, forget about women, forget about sex for now, and this may sound a little radical, but I want you to cut back on the masturbation as well. You need to do masturbation very seldomly, just to release the pressure, only every once in a while. But you, for the most part, need to hone that energy, cultivate it so you can be aggressive, so you can get that eye of the tiger, so you can get on your grind. I mean, just like boxers. Do you know that boxers are not allowed to have sex the night before a fight? Because they know that release of that sexual energy makes the man a little more loopy, the knees are a little bit weaker, etc. But hone that, keep it in.
Your proclamation that a man who denies himself sexual relief will be more motivated to get and hold a job is ridiculous, and is based on professional athlete superstition. There has never been any medical proof behind the boxing myth. Some studies have shown that regular ejaculation actually boosts testosterone, but you do have professional athletes that swear they do better if they abstain from sex. But again, athletes are notoriously superstitious, but there have been psychology studies that show men that do not get regular sex tend to be more aggressive. And I don't mean like more aggressive as in studying for a college test, or more aggressive at applying for jobs. I mean more aggressive as in aggravated and violent, more aggressive like drug withdrawal or roid rage. So I don't think young men need to walk around more aggravated, with an even bigger chip on their shoulder, while women tell them if they ain't bringing home a paycheck don't even bother looking at her. And the fact he is going to be more desperate for sexual satisfaction. I rather suspect that if a lot of young men took your advice there would be higher rates of assault and rape. Furthermore, regular ejaculation, be it from sex or masturbation, is healthy for the prostate. Pushing out the old fluids reduces chances of an infection, and once a prostate is infected, it can act up and have problems for years after the infection goes away. And there are other complex reasons why regular ejaculation is healthy for the prostate, but I must confess they are too complicated for me to understand. But as with anything, too much isn't good either. Stay tuned for part 2 of this, and in the meantime, here is a bonus clip.